Thank you so much, Asta Design. Now it's time for rocket launcher, IIID Design. IIID Design was born in December 1999, and yes, it's still very much alive, thriving, and refusing to follow the straight line and narrow. As a multidisciplinary design firm with clients across the globe and industries, IIID balances a strong value system with a creative spirit that isn't afraid of color outside the lines. From the first sketch to the final reveal, they make sure every project ends with happy clients, beautiful spaces, and maybe a few "How did you even think of that" moments? Just because 3D सीन नहीं मिलेगा भैया, imagination ही तगड़ा है हमारा. Let's welcome one still standing, still designing, and still refusing to be boring Neeraj Jain. Sorry, Shah. Neeraj Shah. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. 8 minutes only. My time starts now. Thank you, Mehul. I look at your face and stop as soon as you start crying. Thank you. Congratulations to Ted for now 12th season. Right, that's amazing feat. What we're going to do here is just one single project and go through a little process which is pretty much common for all of us, right? Everybody looks at a brief, goes to concept and design, and then execution. But the little difference here is that we as a design firm, and one of the very few which we realize now, is into both branding, which is not just graphic demand, it's branding strategy, as well as interiors. And this particular project gave us that opportunity to look at both the aspects from scratch. Very often, a lot of projects, and especially retail, the brand and the interior experience are sometimes a mismatch, right? So the story is not complete. And subconsciously, the viewer or the buyer or the user starts looking at it with discrepancies, but which we don't realize, and therefore the buying decision doesn't happen. In this, we got the opportunity, obviously, which is sometimes very good and very bad, that you have a single client and not a large corporate. But a lot of decisions are centralized, so it's very good. It's one on one. So, in general, of course, this is how it works, and design, of course, solves a problem. What you see here is three aspects. In this case, the brand positioning in the spatial layout was already being informed because simultaneously the brand was being developed, which started from here. And we got the opportunity, like a lot of other projects, to even name this particular brand. So it's called Nexa. And imagine, through the research, obviously one needed to understand where we were placed as a bathware and bath fittings brand. Now, there are so many already existing in the market. This particular brand, with 30 years of manufacturing experience, is now working on products which are developed internally, in-house, as well as imported from Asia, Southeast Asia, and without being hesitant in saying even our neighbor, China. So there are a lot of good products that come in from there with 3.5 years of research only in terms of figuring out what products to procure. So one is this whole idea of segregation, or what we call is in terms of positioning of the product and the brand. And if you see by the end of it, actually this positioning has changed. We are now between value and premium. So the product in terms of its design, etc., is obviously extremely premium. But in terms of its positioning of pricing, it kind of comes between, slightly at the level of Chaco or Kohler, and in terms of value between Equant and Cold Stone, which are similar brands. So this is the space. First idea was to kind of zone it correctly, as others have mentioned. Faucets, the eco range, so that you don't get very scared in terms of and understand what the products are like. And these are more for projects. In premium, then you have a live display, and within the premium zone, we also have one little zone that you see there, which is the meeting space or the director's space without it being a cabin. What you also see here is this takes a lot of time because we also understand this particular product. the client's trust on us or reliability on picking up the fixtures was also extremely high. And is Aneli here? No. So very, very meticulously, with a lot of arguments and discussions and fights, the entire team got involved with, uh, you know, picking up the particular products. Now, this is what was developed. We gave in a new tagline, a new in the sense this is the second time. And Nexel had to be this nice four-letter word, which was, very good. It was a next level. And water future was everything to do with water in terms of the environment as well as the future of water and water-based products. So the name happened, the logo happened, and the name obviously incidentally is another good story. If I have about 20 seconds at the end, I'll tell you that. And then obviously when you're looking at water, and it's so obvious, right? I mean, water bulb fixtures. Is it high? Water, pani, blue. So it's go blue karte the. So easy, right? Then we said that no, yeah, then if we thought like this, maybe somebody else has also thought like this. And then we realized that nobody else thought like this, and there is no barkware bar fixture store which is blue. And why blue or why single color? Because a single monochrome could be able to arrest you in such a way that it gives you a feel of the space, but at the same time, it helps you concentrate on the product. Now, if it becomes completely single blue color, which could be micro topping, right, which goes on the floor and the walls, it could become white pouring in anonymous. And then if your eye moves in much faster, then you will not be arrested to these products because the size of the products is extremely small, right? And you can't have everything in eye level because these products don't exist mostly in eye level, right? And especially your basins and your faucets. And then the story happened. And then we realized that water itself is both hot and cold. And that was the Eureka moment because we said, wow, now we've got one contrasting color here, right, to play with. So this developed into something like this, where the entire flow, we stuck to that whole idea of creating that whole idea of mystery because you don't want to reveal a linear space like this in one shot. And what happens in a linear space? You end up having only a longer walls as your display. When you do this, you're segmenting it correctly, you're creating a little bit of a mystery, as well as you're creating little more surfaces for the display. The material board was kind of evolving, and you can see a lot in terms of the textures. And this is the third iteration. You can start seeing certain forms there. You can start seeing the rust accent, which was coming in, and you can already see one of the images of the space. Now, mirror is itself a large part of these spaces that we use, washrooms especially. So mirror itself is a large element which does both, connects you to the space as well as gives you that illusion of doubling up, especially at the entrance, so that when you get in, you have that little bit of a pause because you don't know where to look. So you come in through this alley, you start seeing certain products on your left, and then you turn left, and we still have one of the star products. The product itself is in that same color that we're looking as an accent, and you can see a little hint of that color at the back, which is the ceiling in zone 3. And the glass that you see is actually blue glass. So, from the, drawings, etc., and all the detailing that comes in, a lot of materials was selected in such a way that even if the store had to be repeated, in which it is, it becomes a shop and shop in other dealers which have multi brands, as well as it has its own repeatability as a smaller format store. All the products here are much quicker to use. For example, Vatromat, which is directly polished with the water-based, clear water-based PU, plus etching on it, which is where the brand sub-brand names are. Back this is printed glass, blue glass, and this water rippled effect, which is the pause point, which is in zone 3. And what you see here is the gradient which comes in where a live zone is. And this is what I was talking about in terms of usability. Use of mirrors in other ways where you make this bit invisible. This is a live counter again, which again is hospitality, but it has a kitchen sink as well. And you can see the rest of it. This was the pause point again with resin, which is again very orderly. The tile is also blue tile, but which is a lighter blue tile. This is again the fixing detail, which makes it easier. What you see here, side of one is etching or engraving within the MDF panel. And this is another iteration which a lot of you may have seen. So we were at the exhibition, right? This was at Depulse. And this was an iteration so where the same concept is taken here into a smaller space so that the continuity of the brand does not change. You still have your focal points either from the product itself or to continue with the story. And of course, you can see the catalog, etc. So the entire catalog is also designed by us. So from the name, the logo, the brand manual, the catalog, the manual for the rollouts, the shop and shop, the kiosk format, all these are done so that the brand can continue. And that is the end. With space, context, and brand. I finished before the 8 minutes. Also, we've stuck to only 8 slides as given. Thank you. Now, before the next talk, I'll give you the quick this about the game, and it's very interesting. And one of the partners, now there are of course 4 partners, and one of the main partners is here with us in the crowd. Nexel actually came in only the whole idea of starting this brand was only with for brand act. I mean for bathroom accessories, which was in about I think about 8 years back. I think 2016 or 16 or done. So Nexel comes in from NE was sounds good, right? Sounds cool, futuristic. NE is comes in from his name Ishan, Northeast, and he was working with a friend at that time who was going to be investing in that company. His name was Vishal. So I said, okay, fine, great, yeah. XL is Vishal, which is extra large. So Ishan and extra large, I mean Vishal, together became NEXL, which became XL. So this is the fun part of it, but yeah, at the same time, it had to sit in correctly because it could not have been, it could have been anything else, but it need not focus in the actual categorization of the brand. Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj bhai. Everyone, this is to bring your attention to the craft corner and green initiative stalls set up outside. Please do visit and explore the wonderful efforts. Thank you. Next, we all know that 10 for now is Rana's baby, the mother of 10 for now. But we definitely want to know the story behind, right? Please welcome bright and talented Rana Parekh.
So this is the story. It goes back to 2009. It's my birthday, January, and my family decides it's first restaurant Nami Kalchekon, Taletyan Leje. Very big happy hot peppers kabhi ne naam che. And we go there and I enter. Okay? Sorry, this is not black and white. This is a picture I provided. And I walk into this place. It's red, black, silver, and white. I have photographs that don't do it justice. And like all of us, most of us designers, we don't look at the menu, we look at that decor, the crockery, the table mats, everything. And that, oh my God, I didn't enjoy my meal on my birthday because all my mind was saying is, who has done this fabulous space? This is 2009, guys. And somebody said, I do. I said, yeah, I do. I do want to know, but what I do. And there, I found the designers. This is Neeraj from 2009 and Hinani. And that's how it started. That's when I decided that we need to know each other. All humanity programs were fabulous. We had designers who come from outside, talk to us, and kind of we have dinner and very politely hello, and then we go away. We need to know each other, not our names, but our work, and so that's how 10th now started. 2009, we called people over, we sent emails, come and show your work, we want to know you, and that's how it happened. We'll go quick. 2009, we also participated, and there are a lot of people who are ready to share their work, talk about it. The 10-minute thing, if you guys heard that, is me. We actually have 10 minutes. It's like about only 8. Some more of these. Season 4 also was fabulous. We had another favorite who participated, and then he said, okay, both of you, but they are coming and showing their work and all. But how about now? I'm not married to a designer, but I thought, what is it like to work with another designer? So we decided to do a couple thing. How we work in that kind of partnership. Who designs? Who cooks? Who does things? So we had these couples who came and told their stories as to what's happening. And now, but my dad wasn't an architect, neither is my child. So, like, how do different generations work together in an office? How does the office function with different, like Hiri and Anushri and etc. Format changed then, and then we celebrated and we had the biggies of Ahmedabad who decided to showcase their work. When we talked, what is design all about? Well, people talked about collaboration, synergy. Those were the ideas that kept coming back. How do we? I mean, there are obviously more people who are attached, like lighting designers, landscape designers, whole lot of people who are attached to us. So we decided to do something about kind of how do we collaborate with these people and how they are as important as a designer is. Season 9 brought the young ones, the under 30, and the future of Ahmedabad designers, which was a fabulous. This is the one show I miss, and I won't forgive myself. Next, season 10. Season 10 is when we celebrated our 10th anniversary with more fabulous designers, and 11 was the black and white era. Amitav Sears, Ray, Sayed, Chalo, let's see what happened. And what are the changes that happened? Starting our journey in 1985, opening an office in 1987. What is it like working there and now in 2004, 2005? What are the differences? So that I think those are very interesting events. So we just deepen this. We don't. These are. We don't just see now. It's a kind of social media. So I don't see Ruchi's design. I just have to open her clinic and think, okay, it was stuff. Ayushi does this, but those are just pictures. That's just the end product. What is the story in between? What is the journey that the designer has? So that's how Telephone Now is still so relevant. And this time we decided to focus on retail, hospitality, and to think about it, there is a restaurant that brought about the entire series of Telephone Now. So thank you, Neeraj, for doing that. I love your calling friend. I'm not going to share. So this is what I said. These are all sketches to spaces. And there's so much gratitude here. When I think about 10 into 12, so many of people who have come and actually, yes, I know, actually come and share their journey, share their pictures, share their work, their passions, and with absolute gratitude to all of you and all the ones who presented in the past, right? We hear what's in between. That is the most beautiful thing about it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Rana. Our next presenter for the evening is Tattva Design. Established in 2004, is an interior design firm that's been shaping commercial, residential, and a little bit of everything in between. For over 2 decades now, led by principal designer Amit Ashra, they have built a practice grounded in creativity, perseverance, and just the right amount of obsession with sunlight and fresh air. Their mission is to design spaces that not only look great in photos, but also make you feel something: joy, peace, maybe even the urge to keep your shoes by the door. Rooted in sustainable community integrated design philosophy, Tattva is all about connecting people with nature and the built environment in meaningful ways. Let's welcome Tattva Design, Amit Ashra.
Firstly, I would like to thank IIID for giving this platform, and secondly, all the audience without whom this event won't be possible. So I think we clap for them. So I'm individual practitioner, not a big practicing designer, right? But I have very core ethics of doing design practice, and I also take a privilege to choose the client also. Okay. Uh, to begin with, I want to recite a Gujarati poem by Prem Shankar. But being Gujarati, I'm proud to be in a state અને હું એક કાઠિયાવાડી બી છું તો એક ટ્રેડિશન અને કલ્ચર છે ને આઈ એમ વેરી પ્રાઉડ ઓફ દેટ થિંગ એન્ડ દેટ રિફ્લેક્ટ્સ વોટ એવર આઈ ડુ તો આ એક નાની કવિતા છે જેને હાઈકુ કહેવામાં આવે તું નાનો હું મોટો એવો ખ્યાલ જગતનો ખોટો આ નાનો આ મોટો એવો મૂરખ કરતા ગોટો ખારા જળનો દરિયો ભર્યો મીઠા જળનો લોટો તરસ્યાને તો દરિયાથી પણ લોટો લાગે મોટો તું નાનો હું મોટો એવો ખ્યાલ જગતનો ખોટો નાના છોડે મહેકી ઉઠે કેવો ગુલાબ ગોટો ઊંચા ઊંચા ઝાડે તમને જડશે એવો જોટો તું નાનો હું મોટો એવો ખ્યાલ જગતનો ખોટો મન નાનો તે નાનો જેનું મન મોટું તે મોટો તું નાનો હું મોટો એવો ખ્યાલ જગતનો ખોટો. This is how I interpret this poem. Mirrors the human ego, the sense of privilege we feel among all the species. In the name of development, culture, or even rights, we exploit nature and every other species. This reflects our core idea of speciesism, a biased belief that humans are superior to other living beings. A sharp mirror to our ego, questioning mankind, assumes right to exploit every other life on earth. On human ego makes us feel superior. In its name, we exploit nature and life. Speciesism questions this false right. I think all will agree with that. Am I? For us, sustainability is neither a buzzword nor a mere university. It's a core design ethic we genuinely practice, holistically integrate. We call this conscious driven design approach. ગુજરાતીમાં કહી શકીએ કે કુદરત સાથે સમન્વયથી રહેવું. Streetwear studio that I'm going to talk about today. So the client was just recently came from US, where he was also been part of hospitality industry, serving a restaurant there in US, and he has a core idea to work with our local artisan and create a brand where it globally, reaches out our Indian attire. So for him, streetwear is more than the aesthetic, as my client reside. It's about rebellion, individuality, inexclusivity, and activism. Next. I hope. So, when it comes to conceptualization, we don't refer any Instagram, Pinterest. I think I mostly go by bicycles, local transport. So I think nearest 30 kilometer of pyramid is there are lots of things where it can refer into. So Ahmedabad is living craft museum, rich with artisans, material, and upcycling potential. Our users are conscious, experimental, and urban. So our designs merge modern minimalism with raw organic authenticity rooted in context, culture, and craft. Like the previous children, we study product, brands and users in detail, from their functional needs to emotional associations. We gather users' feedback and document key details. This primary data becomes the foundation for layout planning. In Streetwear Studio project, I will explain how the process-driven approach shaped every step from concept to execution. We map resource for material and timeline planning, working closely with the contractor for smooth execution. We prepare BOQs and bar chart to complete the project within the decided time frame. For this project, we have given almost 2 months of time frame. Uh, Our client strongly believes in freedom of movement, openness, and subtle design expression, avoiding any form of dominance or rigid hierarchy in space. Rather than imposing structure through partitions or wall, they were envisioned a space where a user inventively navigate and interact with the environment. So these were the some brands that they were working with, and so this narrates shows how earlier research and analysis began to materialize into design. We strongly believe draw inspiration from Ahmedabad because we called it as meta of design, right? Where craft culture and modernity coexist. This influenced our aesthetic language of raw yet redefined, using reclaimed material and artisan-led intervention to tell a conscious rooted and experimental design story. This reminds me of our senior architects' presentations, Vivi Dosipar and Yatin Pandya sir, uh, who often saw Gujarati thali as metaphor in their design story. They say pizza gives the same taste, right? Bite after bite. But the thali, it's a journey, a delight. Each morsel is crafted, sweet, sour, and many other tastes, a mix of flavors, timeless and old. And that's what design can truly be: unlimited material, infinite creatively, like a thali. With care, imagination, we create endless permutation and combination. So all material used in this site where wood was reclaimed from the demolition site, TMD bars from the site step, flooring and accessories were sourced from SIP yard, Puta stone was repurposed from old footpath. The only used was wire cut bricks. So I'm just now showing the glimpses. So layout and contents, it is on SBR Road. The building is very famous for its facade. This is the layout. The zoning based on the intervention that we have derived. Zoning, so we were having a clear arena. Play. So this is kind of parametric structure that we have designed. એટલે બે વખત એને ડેમોલિશ કરવું પડતું કારણ કે ખાલી મોટરની thickness વધી જતી and in between there was a puncture. So ઘણી વસ્તુઓ સાઇટ પર રહેતા રહેલા સાથે મળીને શીખ્યા. This is mud mirror work જેને modern influence we have derived thanks to Dipper IIID because of our craft initiative. Most of the things are bespoke and handcrafted. For all this barrier, reclaimed wood has been used. These are the TMT bars from the side. I am taking 2 minutes of my green initiative. No. Okay, this is the final product. So lastly, sustainability is not an afterthought, but our starting point. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. Being a non-Kuchu, I just understood Moto Loto, but but we are proud to have you leading our Green Initiative program. So, moving on to the next presentation, the art container is a young but wise beyond its years architecture and interior design studio led by Ramina Panchalu, proudly based in Ahmedabad, where tea is strong and the ideas are stronger. They design spaces that blend simple living with a touch of modern flair, kind of like your grandma's value met your Pinterest mood. Big round of applause for Art Container, where good design lives, laughs, and occasionally gets complimented by your mother-in-law.
A very good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be here today to present one of our spectacular project that we've done by the Art Container, of course, in the middle of the buzzing city, and we are so proud about it. Let me share the journey entirely. A restaurant you must have heard and might have visited as well, called Triton, right place as in Luban Road. Yes, before we jump into the entire journey of how we designed it, I'd like to say architecture and interior is just a journey and it's crafting of emotions or spaces. Okay. One of the key elements, whenever you go to a site, you notice that, what's the site contacts? Where are you located? How many trees are actually flourishing on the land? Do you love them and you want to keep it? And of course, we don't want to shed any of it. So that's where. And then it comes to what are the levels? What are the road levels? What are the frontage levels? What are the sun paths? What are the wind directions? So these are the few questions you really ask when you start a project. Santorini. No, it did not arrive on the first go. Eyes have a quality that it senses space very easily. And that's it, where it clicked. We wanted to create spaces where you feel you're transported to something which is another location and feel something which is very calm under the chaos of your lifestyle. So that's where I think my height is a issue. Sorry. Too many iterations, starting from can we make a Venice and can we have a water body that floats within the space? It starts with lots of emotion that you're designing, that you've got a chunk of land which is huge and humongous, and you are actually driven the space with some of the locations where can we tilt it? Can we do something very different? So can it be a Venice? That was the first thing that we thought we could do. Then we said, let's come down. We want to try something else as well. So we said, can it be a club like Bali or Shack, which is in Bali? So very curvy, linear lines and, something very different and out of the box that we can develop. And finally, we find one right decision. That's where we wanted to say that follow the windows, each window peeping out to another subset of a window. An array of openings, arches started forming just like a city lifting from one facade of a low key to the highest peak. And it was written there, that's it. That was the Santorini that we wanted to go ahead with. And you see a parallel linear site, which is very long, and it's just right perfectly in the front facade of the entire front of the road. So one decision, it changed and transformed everything. That's what we realized, which is a journey of a process. Because when you start building, you start with your floor plan. That's where these are all elements that are required. But then you start figuring out that, is it the right manner that we are portraying it? But oh, that one decision, and we tilted the facade. It was an angular facade. We said we don't want to make micro spaces. Santorini is a very micro space that you actually have, but practically it's impossible, right? You need it to be functional. You need it for more people. You need it to breathe very loudly. You want to create heights which are extremely higher. So that's fair. Of course, the client is always a part of every decision that we make because it's the journey, as I said. A space that we came up with was Santorini. And starting from modulations of how we thought, what if we could look at such miniature sculptures of concrete? And what if we define spaces which has, of course, openings? That's where we try to driven ourselves that, the highest peak to the lowest peak, what if there are openings that are facing at different locations, and it itself tries to bring that intimacy that a Santorini has. So that one driven point allows us to, locate that this is it. So what we try to do is, if you can see, the cafes area is something which is very rectangular. It has all the back ends which are designed, but the entrance right starting from there, and there is a facade which tilts according to the landscape. So none of the trees were actually cut down, and the facade rightly fits and curves itself, intimating all the openings which are overlooking to each other. So hence, creating spaces which has landscape to be seen with from the windows. Again, space planning, so it's completely very important. You start right from there, coming to the space, you have a right entrance over here. Then you don't want the rectangular space to actually look rectangular, right? When you come inside, it has to narrate the stories of Santorini, that, it has no sharp edges, it doesn't have very linear lines that are supposed to be not there when you transport yourself to a different location. So hence, the interior language driven to very dramatic way of using elements from Santorini. So it had a space which was actually a tribute to that island, and we wanted to have certain series of elements which are arches, sculpted doorways, textured surfaces, or an interplay of light and shadow, defining a very Greek architecture. Very pure whitewashed facades and cascading of bougainvilleas, a very neutral palette of white, blues, and pinks. A folded plane that could actually transport each space to a dramatic change of space of Santorini. The first scene you come to is, this is your mood palette that you want to create, that, some of the juggling of your mood boards, creating concepts of what actually is required. And then you feel, okay, right, that's it for the mood. But then you come to a reality that, you want to pick all of these elements and put it into the spaces so that you can visualize, because now you have found out your own tools and elements to define your space. So then it goes into different mock-ups, trials, and inventing materials as well. So we tried and creating different textures, which actually were by training the artisans locally. Some of the things which were site oriented, which were samplings of floor or probably the grouting, because it doesn't have to be a normal grouting because it's Santorini, it might have gravels. You want to change the notion of every single piece of style that you want to intertwine in your spaces. Maybe it can be an art direction that you want to have in the space. The moment the space comes to us, we try and design end to end, because you don't want a random thing to happen in your space. So each detail, I just quickly finish this. Okay. And that's how it looks like. A very different location that you've entered to. Actually, the surface that you see on the facade is actually hand done by the artisans. That's like the palm impressions. That's how we have achieved the textures. Again, blue can be a part of the entire language. That's how it looks like. You cannot cube it, it's literally in between of the landscape. And that's how the interiors looks like. is completely blue. Even the tables to cutleries to each and every detail was designed from our end. Even the chandeliers, of course, and the walls, of course, it curves in a very dramatic way, but not too heighted. It has to be low. Okay, I'll just quickly. That's how our mood palette was. Each and every detail turning into reality in order to bring design to life. It's a team effort, it's designers, it's everybody who has been a part of it. Nonetheless, it's people. It's all people. It's people who create the space. It's not us, it's the people. Design is a journey, research led, thoughtfully planned, and creatively executed. And of course, we are coming up with one more Triton again, 2.0. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. The next presenter for the evening is Shivani Bandari Design Studio. Shivani Bandari Design Studio is a young, energetic, and slightly design-obsessed bunch of interior designers and artists who genuinely believe that good design can fix anything. Well, almost. With deep passion for interior design and spatial planning, they are always on the lookout for opportunities that let them flex their creative muscles, collaborate with fellow designers, and keep learning on the go. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shivani Bandari Design Studio.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for the lovely introduction. It's actually said first are special, and it's a real honor to be a part of IIID event because I've never been a part of it, and it is. I feel grateful that amongst all peers, mentors, and creative individuals, um, you all truly understand the power of design, and it feels powerful every day to be a part of this fraternity. So I'm Shivani Pandari from Shivani Pandari Design Studio. It's a small little studio where we try to be a little experimental. It's a small family of designers. And today, I'm not going to take much of your time, 80 minutes, and we are running towards dinner. So yeah. We and me. So I'm excited to, show you two of the projects that we've done recently. And like she said, designers are obsessed, and I'm obsessed towards my work, and I can legit write books on the works that I've done. But yeah, we stick to the timing. So two of these, like I said, so one is a project that's rooted in spiritual tradition, and the second one is a contemporary expression of warmth and vibrance. So the first one, let's begin with Geeta. It's a retail store, and it's a 2,200 square feet of carpet that's located on Iskonamli Road in Ahmedabad itself. The clients, so like how we say, Geeta is not just a store because the clients, their grandparents, the entire family might have just been into this because they're Rajasthanis and we've got like heritage and traditions and culture in the work that they do, and it's been running the family since ages. So it's what we wanted to design was not just a sanctum, it's a mandir inspired retail experience that brings together devotion, craftsmanship, and tranquility. So the brief from the client was very clear. We wanted to create a space that feels deeply spiritual, yet completely functional for a premium retail store. And we began with a very simple question: how do we design silence? So, what we did was we wanted to focus on symmetry, stillness, and softness. The mood board was quite clear because we wanted to bring in Indian heritage. I would like to quote here something that was connected with me when I was designing it, and it legit took like a lot of time, almost like 10, 11 months of going to size every day and realizing that how beautifully can Indian heritage and Indian layouts and the history can be brought in modern times. So, in halls where silence gently dwells, each ray of light a story tells, of hands that shaped with love and grace, and peace that fills the sacred space. polished stone and aged wood glow, whispering warmth in golden flow. The quiet walls begin to sing of timeless calm and inner spring. A temple lives in every line where form and stillness intertwine. Each shadow cast, each sublime gleam, feels born from some divine dream. So these are the words that I was able to connect to when I was designing it. And the layout, what we got was very simple. It follows a very linear circulation spine, like a temple parikrama. So whenever we have visitors, they are guided through this axis and through each display with intention. So what we've done basically is divided each zone into the categories of the products that they had. So we were researching about what kind of materials and what kind of murtis, what kind of temples they had. So that's the space, and we focused on symmetry, we focused on stillness. So now when I say that, what happens here is there are these off-white walls everywhere, which aren't just a color tone, they are a canvas of calm. And then they let every murti shine. So every shadow tells a story because the lighting has been placed, which feels like it's very devotional. And every gleam that you see, or every layer that you see, is bringing in life to the idol that is placed. So we made sure every corner allows the space to pause and to observe, yet to feel. Every aisle that you walk to, because there are zones in it, so each aisle gives you a breathing room. There's no visual clutter at all and no distractions. The client said they had tons of murtis to keep and tons of idols to place, so that clutter had to be organized, and that was the biggest challenge. So, as they like to say, this isn't just a store, it's a sanctuary, and each sculpture speaks devotion, each art frame brings in serenity, and every step guides the soul. When we began the project, every carpenter would say, Madam, वुड में इतना बेंड करना, इतने आर्चेस डीप लाना बहुत मुश्किल है, बहुत आप सीएनसी करवा लो, एचडीएमआर यूज कर लो, फटाफट से हो जाएगा. But no, wood was something we resonated with, and that's how we have this. Okay, the second one, let's quickly get into it. So from sacred to spirited, let's now explore this area. So it is again located in Ahmedabad, a 1400 square feet of space with a kitchen space separate. And the client wanted a space that was both timeless and Instagrammable. That was the word. That is a place that's captured Italian charm but still feels fresh and young. So we leaned into a palette of sage greens, warm wood, oak, marble, and gold accents. That's how the pauses came. And guests, they would enter through a mirrored arc frame. This was a sort of a renovation. So that's what we got. And what we turned into was something like this, where we've got like bigger arched windows. There's a golden counter that anchors the space. There's sculptural lighting. There's dark green marble. There's tables that are built in Indian granite and yet has a charm of the wood panels and the whites that bring a lot of colors too. Because we stick to the logo and the branding, so the colors were intentional again, the greens that came. And there's Moroccan tiles for the flooring, oak wood, brass accents. All of these are surfaces that would invite touch, that would want to have the youngsters coming in and feeling the space. The end result again is a space that's cozy yet elevated, refined yet never too serious. Yeah, almost done. Okay, a restaurant that feels like it's always golden hour. So, just ending it on a note that across both projects, one thing remains constant: our belief that design should move you, and not just visually but emotionally. Whether it's the reverence of a mandir or the comfort of a pizzeria, our goal is to create spaces that speak without saying much. And yeah, I think, I should end. Okay. Thank you all for listening. Thank you to the IIID for giving me a platform.
So now moving on to the next presentation, ADW. ADW is a multidisciplinary interior design studio founded by Ayushi Jain because someone had to turn Pinterest dreams into real life spaces without DIY disasters. With 5 years of experience and over 50 projects completed, they have worked on everything from chic 500 square feet shoe boxes to sprawling 30,000 square feet of spaces. At ADW, they don't just design spaces, they design feelings, drama free site visits, and layouts that actually make sense and look good on Instagram. Let's welcome Ayushi Jain.
સ્કૂલમાં હંમેશા આયુષી નંબર 1 પર આવે બેસવામાં, for exams and today I'm live, so I feel happy. And thank you for meeting everyone. Thank you IIID. Namaste and good evening. So today I'm going to present two of our special projects of interior design. One is the space, which is the exhibition gallery, and second is healing space, if time permits. So, firstly, at ADW, we believe that every space is a living story and a story that's waiting to unfold light, textures, materials, everything into one palette. And today, I would love to take you through our journey. So, yes, everyone know about the design process, everyone has learned. We create such bubble diagrams for the space. So, this is a space in Vadodara. They already have a space in Ahmedabad. So we designed this space in Vadodara in a 3 BHK residential apartment. So no, it's not an apartment, but we created that and we refurbished it into a multidisciplinary designing space. Every time client has their requirements ki amne badhu જ જોઈએ છે એક spaceમાં. So we call it as multi-purpose space. So we had a requirement from the client that they want everything in the budget, everything looks beautiful, everything should be there, all the spaces should be there, like kitchen, the cafe area, the exhibition space, office area, podcast area, the trending area, and also workshop area. So all together in one space. So that was a task. And then me and my team was like, or karo retail spaces, बहुत short था. So yeah. Moving towards, then we created a mood board and the material palette, which we tried to use all the local materials. Like we used terrazzo, we did the sampling on the sites, and we used Indian traditional materials and also the furniture. We even customized all the candle stands, even the decor part, we customized all on site. We used Indian marble, the green marble, and also grey kota. So quickly going through the project, we had the challenge that we don't have to do any civil destruction. So we have to use all the areas and with less civil changes. So as you can see, it's a very old property, and all the nearby properties are converted from residence to the retail spaces or the cafe areas. So context was like that, and we have not cutted any trees nor any plantation. We grow more trees and more plantation to create a new impact and for the cooler space, because when it's summer, the plantation are the only thing which makes the space cool. So you can see the one which was the living area, we created a grand entry. So these are not the bricks, but we created a brick-like arch entry, which is metal fabricated into the terracotta color. And as you can see, the outdoors areas are kept as it is. It was the parking space before, and then we created into the sitting outdoor space, which can also combines to the outdoor playful area for the workshop areas and the events. So moving towards the entry, there was an exhibition space. We have kept the dots. If you can see closely, there are all the terrazzo dots, which defines the interactive spaces where you can stand and feel the spaces. And as the height was too low, we decided to keep it exposed ceiling, and Indian grounds we wanted to incorporate. So we hang the Indian carpets on the ceiling. So why carpets only on the floor? Then when can it be hanged on ceiling as well? And then a few of the process, even the neighbor cafeteria was a cafeteria where all the pang dogs and were there coming for their spa.
and they were also enjoying our outdoors. So these are few detailed drawings. And after a few planning, in the starting of the project, we are so much excited. We have good budget, and at the end or the middle process, thoda budget come into the. So we have to do few DIY, and we created a lamp from the wooden leaves, which we from the wastage we created the lights. Then we incorporated to cut the edgy surfaces. We created a curved wall to display all the products, where the exhibitors can display their products in terms of bags or shoes or maybe watches or jewelries. And we even customize all the decor, like you can see the dervish, which the pottery artist has designed. So in Vadodara, there are many artists and pottery artists who are practicing there. And this is the workshop area as well as the conference area, in which ceiling we did the graffiti ceiling to give a sense of artist's space and the workshop space. So here is the final outcome. You can see the dots are interactive, the terrazzo dots, and each spaces is interactive. Even all the furnitures are movable, so you can gather up in one space. You can also differentiate the spaces, and all the activities are going through in the spaces without any disturbance. So moving towards the next project, this is a very special project because it's a spiritual project, a healing space. So we have to study, and of course the Vastu was playing an important role in this. So in this, the concept was the client Radhika Rai. She is a healing coach, and she is into Reiki, access bars, and also crystal energy. So it was not an office space, but a retail wellness center, a small center. Yes, thank you. So this was the space. It was an open terrace in the residential part, but we created a temporary structure because of the society that we don't have the permission of the permanent structure. So we created the whole structure into the puff panels, and the challenge was that we created the frame structure and we placed the puff panels, but the structure was not so very permanent and not durable. So we created more structures to strengthen it. And for the ceiling, we created the fabrication work with the Hota stone. So that was also for the budget friendly one. After that, the issue was the rain waterproofing issue was there, and the monsoon was there. So pani ka leakage bhi thoda sa. So for that we created a panel kind of thing, and for the this thing, and for the concept we had five elements of nature and also the chakras of our body. So chakras of life we incorporated into the veneer table, and we incorporated from the brass inlay. You can see the very minimal palette has been used. So we have used the faces of moon for Krishna ji table, and even the wooden line has been customized. So final outcome was like this. So you can see the residential area was there, and for the upside, the open terrace is converted into a beautiful space, which is a small wellness center. And from the small tables, from the bowls, from decor, each pieces is been customized for the client. And yes, even the name plate has been customized. So thank you so much, and thank you Triple ID. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you so much, Ayushi. I know सबको तगड़ी भूख लगी होगी. So let's wrap up our most awaited season of 10 for now. A huge round of applause for our presentators and our team for arriving. It's time to calculate for our prestigious visitors, and I would like to call our chairperson, David Pandya, to felicitate our event partner, Focus Light Studio, Mr. Kishan Dave.
ભૂખ લાગી છે નહીં? મને તો બહુ લાગી છે. 10 designers, it was 10 minutes, not 8 minutes. And really endless inspiration. I was keeping a note of everybody. Flight થી શરૂઆત થઈને ક્યાં ક્યાં આપણે પહોંચી ગયા. It was amazing, guys, and I really thank you guys, all the presenters from IIID Ahmedabad. Thank you very much. You present your work and keep some time. And it is really, really inspiring for us. I just wanted to quickly thank the people who have worked behind this. Devash, come on the stage. Bhavnik, Prachi, Amrita, Dinesh, Arvind, and our own Sanjay.